Hello friends. So last time we did calls and put options. We did some certain basic sums and calls to understand the concept of calls and how you can profit from it or how an investor profits from calls. Today we're going to do some important terminology in call options and put options, and later on we're going to do, that is a very interesting part. What we're going to do later, that is the strategies that people follow in using call and put options to make money, basically. Okay, so it is like you have to think as if you are the investor, okay, and you are making money. Once you learn this, you can actually go to the market and make money with this. Or of course, see, there is always a downside, but if you do proper research and all, then this strategy is the most practical thing that we're going to learn today. Okay, so I'll start off with yes. So we were going to start off with some important terminology and options. We all know call option and put option by now. That was covered earlier. There are certain important terminologies, like we have premium. What is a premium? Premium is nothing but that price at which the contract is traded. Okay, it's the price of the option. Basically, the writer of the option is giving you that option, right? So you have to pay him some fee. That is called premium. Okay. Then we have strike price. Strike price is that price at which the option has been, the contract of the option has been entered, basically. Okay, so that is the strike price. Like, to suppose the spot price is 100 today, and you entered the contract for, say, you bought one call option for 110. That 110 is the strike price. Yeah. Okay. Then we have contract size. This is something important. It is the number of shares that lie in a particular call option. Basically, you cannot, in all stocks, you don't have only one call. Okay, I mean, one call does not always equal to one share. So basically, it's like, say Reliance is there. It may have a contract size of, say, 100. So now we are going to do intrinsic value of basically intrinsic and time value. It is basically the option premium that is divided into two parts. What are the two parts? Intrinsic value and time value of money. Okay. Now intrinsic value, I will have to first explain to you what is. There are three kinds of in the money, at the money, and out of the money. I have explained it before, but I will explain it again. Now we have. I have it ready out here. Yeah. Let's say we are buying call option for Reliance. Okay. So now the current market price of Reliance is, say, 900 rupees. Okay. So now we will take three different scenarios. Okay, they are not related to each other. They are three different scenarios. Okay, so in the first scenario, the strike price is how much? Is, say, 920 rupees. Okay, the current market price of Reliance is 900 rupees. The strike price is 920 rupees. What do you think? Is it in the money or out the money? I'll explain to you. 1 minute. 920, you can buy it from the writer of the option, and you can buy from the market at a simple 900 rupees. So you will of course buy cheaper. So you will go to the market. So this option for you, it's as good as null. You know, you're not going to exercise the option because it's expensive. So in this case, since it is expensive, it is out of the money option. Okay, it is called out of the money option because I'm not going to exercise the option because I'm getting it cheaper in the market. Okay. Now we're going to do at the money. Now out of the money, we've done. At the money is what? Where Reliance is. This is the second scenario I'm telling you. Okay. So now, out of the money. Now, 900 is the strike price, and 900 is the current market price. Both. The Reliance in the market also you're getting for 900, and out here also you're getting from the writer of the option also you're getting for 900. So which one you choose? It doesn't matter. You're indifferent. Whichever one you choose, you're going to get it for 900 rupees. So that is at the money option. Okay, that is called at the money option. Now, the third one, that is the important one, is in the money. In the money is exactly the opposite of out of the money. Okay, now this is the third scenario where we'll take the same strike price of 900, we'll take the same current market price of 900 for Reliance. Okay, now in this case, the strike price is, say, 800 rupees. So you're making a clear profit 100 rupees, because you will go to the writer of the option, you will tell him that I have a contract with you to buy this particular stock for 800 rupees. So you give it to me. 800 you will buy, and 900 you can sell it, and immediately in the market you're making 100 rupees profit immediately. Okay. So now let's say for this example that we used, let's say the premium was say 180 rupees. That was a premium. Okay. So now what the concept is of the premium is divided into two parts. The two parts are intrinsic value and extrinsic value, which is also called time value. Okay. So now intrinsic value is that the value to the extent of in the money option. Okay. Like it is valued that way. Yeah, so it is that value which is in the money. Okay, so now in this case, like we did in the last option that we did, 900 was the current market price, and 900 and 800 was the strike price. So I bought it at 800 rupees. So the intrinsic value is 180, that is the total premium that I paid. Okay, from that 100 rupees belongs to in the money part, right? That is the difference. That is intrinsic value of the total premium. So total premium you write above as 180 rupees. Break it into two parts. The two parts, one part is 100 rupees, that is the intrinsic value, and automatically balancing figure is 80 rupees, that is the extrinsic value. Okay, extrinsic value also known as time value. Okay, so intrinsic value we know is the in the money part. Okay, now we know what is the time value. Time value I've given you the formula. Is based simple. The total premium minus the intrinsic is equal to the extrinsic. Now we're going to do time value. Now in time value what happens? I'll tell you. Time value is the, now see today is the first, today is the 1st of November, and the option is going to expire on 25th of November. Okay, so we have 25 days, right? So now this 25 days, in this 25 days, 1 minute, I'm doing 1 minute. Quantification of the probability of change in the underlying price. Yeah. So in other words, it is the quantification chance of option expiring. Yeah. In these 25 days, it can either go up. This 1 minute is. My Google is on. It's creating noise. Yeah. Yeah. So where were we? Yeah. Sorry. Was like, yeah, time value money. So now change in the underlying that, yeah. So first we were on 1st November, and then there is 25th of November, which is the expiry date. So in between this, okay, the option will change every day. It will be either in the money, at the money, or out of the money. Okay, so our current market price is 900. It can sometimes be 800, sometimes it can be 600, sometimes it can be 1200. Okay, the current market price. The strike price will remain 800. Okay, so now in this case, the chance that in these 25 days, when the 25 days ends, the chance that the option will end in the money. That means the option. That means the chance that the current market price will be above 800. Only then you will exercise the option, right? In these 25 days, the chance that the option will be above 800, the strike price. The quantification of that chance, say I say that there's 70% chance that this option will end in the money. Okay, so that 70% chance is the quantification that I'm doing. That is the time value of money. Okay, so in this example, it's just 180 rupees was our total premium. Out of that, we reduced the in the money part, that is intrinsic value, that is 100 rupees. So the balance 80 rupees that is there. That 80 rupees is the time value. This time value will keep reducing as we approach 25th of November from 1st. Okay, so basically it is just like there is further upside. So there's a chance, that chance we are quantifying. Okay, so that is what we learned about option premium. Yeah. So now we're going to do about the strategies that I told you. The option spreads, they're called, basically taking actual positions in the options. Yeah. Just take a small break. Okay, friends, welcome back. So we were doing option spreads. Option spread. Now, first we covered premium, right? Now we are going to do option spreads. Basically, it is just taking position in the market when you're actually going to the market and taking position. Okay. So now in option spreads, how it is? There are three. 1, 2, 3. There are three parts of option spreads. One is vertical spread, one is horizontal spread, and one is diagonal spread. Okay. In vertical spread, there are three parts. Okay. So in this, you're basically taking position. So what happens in vertical spread? You're taking two call options. Okay. For the same expiry date. Okay. So today is say 1st November. We are taking for expiry date of 25th of November. Okay. So we are taking two call options, not one call option, two call options on Reliance. Okay. One at the price of 900 rupees, one at the price of 1000 rupees. Okay. So this is vertical. Here you see 900, here you see 1000. Okay. This is vertical, where the date is the same, but we are just taking two at different prices. Okay. So there's a vertical, the price movement is vertical, 900 and 1000. That is how you logically remember it basically. Okay, now the second one is horizontal. In horizontal, what happens? In horizontal, the price is constant. That means we are taking two Reliance calls at 100 rupees only, but one is for 25th November expiry, the other is for 25th December expiry, or 24th you can say, because 25th will be holiday. Anyways, so here what is happening in horizontal, the price is horizontal, and in vertical the price is vertical, that is going upwards. In horizontal, the price is horizontal, that is in both the cases the price is the same, but the dates are changing in the horizontal. Okay, one is November ending, one is December ending. There is a difference between vertical, horizontal, and now diagonal. Diagonal is where it is the mixture of both of them actually. It's a combination of both horizontal and vertical, in which I'm buying two call options. The strike price is also different and the dates are also different. Okay, so it's vertical also, it's horizontal. Horizontal ka feature that dates are different, right? So vertical in the sense I'm buying one call at 100 rupees, one call at 110 rupees. Okay, and the call that I'm buying at 100 rupees, expiry is say December. 110 rupees, expiry is November. So this mix match, okay, that is diagonal. Okay, so you understood, right? Vertical means the price is, I'm buying two at different strike prices, one at 100 rupees, one at 110 rupees, whereas it will end on 25th November only. In horizontal, what will happen? I'm buying two calls, but with at the same 100 rupees only, both calls at 100. Okay, because it's horizontal, so price remains horizontal. So at 100 I'm buying two calls, but the dates are different. One will expire on 25th November, the other on 25th December. That is horizontal, and the mixture of these two is diagonal spread. Okay, I don't know in this book why they have separated spread with strategies, because they are really similar. I don't know. Anyways, now since it really doesn't make a difference. So now we're doing bull call spread and bear call spread. Okay, take a deep breath. Yeah. So in bull call spread, what happens? It involves, now here what is happening, that you're buying a bull and a call. Basically, when you're buying a call option and a put option, these are directional positions. Okay, either the price will go up or the price will go down. So basically, now why we take this? The entire premium is lost. Yeah, inside where the direction call. Either long. Okay, so this what I'm going to teach you. Say you expect Reliance, you're a firm believer of Reliance. Say Reliance will go up only. Okay, so say today it is 900 and you expect it will come to 1200 rupees, 1300 rupees, or whatever. Okay, so then you can apply this bull call spread. Okay, bull means what, no? Bull means market is going up, bear means market is going down. Okay, so I'll explain to you bull first. Okay, bull call put spread. In bull call puts, I don't know why it is like bull call put spread. Okay, so now go by the word only, go by the name only, bull call. So we are buying a call option and we are buying a put option. Both we are buying. Okay, for the same stock. Purchase and sale of call option at different exercise prices. Expiry date is the same. Okay, so what is happening here that one more thing to note over here is that should have a lower exercise price than the written calls. Okay, so basically when was purchase and sale of call options and different exercise work with the same expiry date. Purchase calls should have a lower exercise price than the written calls. Okay, yeah. So here what you're doing basically, when you're saying bull call spread, okay, what you're doing, see, call and put will never be together. That was my mistake where yeah. So what I'm saying, bull call spread. So in this what you're doing, you're buying two calls. You're buying one call, you're selling one call. Okay, you're buying a call option at say 100 rupees. Okay, that is the premium that you pay. Now the purchase should have a lower price than the written call. Okay, why do you write a call? What benefit you will get? You will get premium from that. That's why you write a call. Okay, means you'll write a call, someone will buy it, so someone will pay premium for that. Okay, so what they are saying is the purchase should have a lower exercise price than the, okay. So say Reliance's current price is 900 rupees. You can write it down if you want. Reliance is 900 rupees, and the call option that I buy from say National Stock Exchange, that I will buy at 910 rupees. Okay, for 25th November ending. Today is 1st November. 900 is the current market price. I am buying a call option for 910 rupees. Exercise price is 910 rupees. Okay. Now, this is part one. The second part, so for this I'll have to pay premium, right? So say I paid premium of 6 rupees. Okay. I don't know what premium. There can be any premium. Let's say it is 6 rupees. Now the second part is what? Now this premium of 6 rupees it's an outflow for me, right? Because I'm buying the call. Okay. Now the second part I'm doing what in this? I'm selling the call. First I bought the call, now I'm selling the call. The only difference over here in the selling the call is that I'm selling at say 920 rupees per call. Or say, let's make it easier. Let's not put it so close. Let's say I'm selling the call for 1000 rupees. Okay, or I'm writing the call option. So in this what I'm doing, writing means what? So why I'm writing the call option? Am I stupid? No. Because I want to earn the premium so that I can reduce my outflow. My outflow was 6 rupees, right? Because I had to purchase that call option. From this 1000 rupees option that I'm selling, of course the price will be less only because it's too high. So I mean the exercise price is too high, so I think the option will be less, so the premium will be less. So say 4 rupees is the premium that I get. Okay, so this is also benefit only, something is at least coming in. So 6 rupees is the outflow, 4 rupees is the inflow. This I'm talking only of the net premium that I had to pay is 2 rupees. Okay, instead of 6 rupees, I had to pay 2 rupees because I sold call option. Okay, because I'm sure that Reliance price will not reach beyond 940, 950 or something like that. So I sold at 1000 rupees a call option. मतलब इतना तो जाएगा ही नहीं वैसे. And free income I'm getting. That is the thinking. It's all on thinking, you know. This is all prediction basically. You should have proper research and then only you should. So this is called a bull call spread. Same you can do with put option. Okay, like you can buy a put and then you can sell a put. Okay, so just remember when it's a bull, when you're saying bull, that time what you sell should be higher. Okay, the exercise price should be higher, like at 1000. It is higher than 910 rupees. Yeah. So what happens in a, so this is basically bull call spread. Yeah. There are a lot of examples in each of these, but I'm going to explain the strategies and the concept first. Because if you go example wise, we'll go example wise also later on, but examples and all will take more time. The basic concept should be fixed in your mind. Okay, then you can do any example in a simple way. So now we have the bear call option. Involves purchase and sale of call option at different exercise price. This time the only difference is the purchase call has to be higher than the call that you sold. I'll explain to you now. Okay, I'm not sure if I should use the Reliance example. No, I'll not use that, because again and again you're going back. Let's say United Spirits. The price is, I don't know how much it is. Let's say it is 1500 current market price. Okay, United Spirits Limited, 1500 rupees per share is the current market price on 1st of November. Now, what is happening? It is a bear market. Okay, you expect anyways Malia is going down, and plus the market is also bear. So you expect that it will go down only. Say you expect it will go 1900 rupees per share हो जाएगा जो भी है. What you will do now? You will buy a call option at, since it is 1500, and the bought call option should be higher than the one that you will write basically. So you will buy the call option at say 900 rupees. 1500 ka 900 rupees. That means what you're expecting. You understand the logic first. The current market price is 1500, and I know through valuation of the company that चाहे जो भी हो, it cannot be below say 1100 rupees. Okay, so now what is happening is 1100 rupees. Okay, means the valuation of the company is such that below 1100 if it reaches, then I want to buy it no matter what the market says, because maybe it has a lot of land bank or what, I don't know, but I want to buy it because at 1100 the basic price, उतने में तो अगर उसके नीचे market दे रहा है तो I will buy it only. Okay, so in this case what you're doing, you're buying the call option at 900 strike price. Okay, 100. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, we were at Reliance, at United Spirits. Yeah, so I expected 1100 के नीचे होगा तो it will be attractive to me. Okay, so let's say I was getting a call option for 900 rupees. Okay, so this 900 rupees का I bought the call option. Now the concept you've understood. Okay, that this is a bear market, but I expect कि इससे नीचे तो जाएगा नहीं. इसके लिए at 900 rupees I am getting the call option. Okay, and now I am, so for that call option I have to again pay premium. So premium I have to pay say 5 rupees. Now I want to avoid that much outflow, I want to avoid that outflow. So how I will avoid it? By selling the option, selling the call option. Okay, so then you sell a call option or you write an option. Now this written option has to be less, right? I have a higher exercise price than the written option. Yeah, the exercise price for this is say 800 rupees. It has to be less than 900 because 900 is that. So 800 rupees mein I am selling. What does it imply? It implies that I am giving someone the right to demand the shares from me at 800 rupees. When will he demand at 800 rupees? Only when it will be above 800, right? Okay, and let's say I got a premium from this for 3 rupees. So 5 minus 3, that is 2 is the net premium outflow that I have to make. Okay, let's see if the situation actually comes true, then what happens. Okay, now let's say on 25th of November, that is the final deciding day or the closing day of the option, the price of United Spirits becomes 1200 rupees, from 1500 to 1200 rupees. So I am to not fool it. I will to what I have bought, I will not think about the writer of the option. I will tell him you give me at 900 rupees because that is our deal. I am making a profit of 300 rupees immediately because the current market price is 1200 and I bought it for 900 rupees. Okay, so 300 rupees. But now that person who sold, to whom I sold, basically I wrote the option, right? So to whom I sold for 800 rupees, he will come to me. He will tell me that current market price is 1200 rupees. you pay me 800, you give it to me for 800 rupees. Okay, so that 400 rupees that is there, so that difference of 400 will be my loss actually. You see, the 400 will be my loss, and 300 is the profit. So my net loss is 100 rupees. So you're asking, why will some fool get into this? You look at it from the other example. Right now what has happened is the bear market has not gone so much down. That's why maybe it will see. Now let's say from 1500 on 1st November, the price went down to 700 rupees on 25th. So what will happen? It's become exactly half now, 700 rupees. So what will happen now? What will happen is I will exercise the option. My option will expire because I had the option to buy at 900 rupees and the other person had the option to, and I had given someone the option to buy from me at 800. Okay, so what happens over here is that I am not exercising my option and neither is that person exercising because current market price has gone fully down. So in this case, my loss is the premium that went by. Okay. Now let's say now 850 rupees, which is between 900 and 800. Okay, let's say on 25th the price became 850 rupees. Now what will happen? I will not exercise my option because it is 900, and that seller will not exercise the option because it is, because to whom I have sold, he will exercise his option. Okay, he will get that 50 rupees profit. Yeah. So in this we see that it's totally a loss, but here the premium is what is important. Just a minute. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, guys. So we were talking about bear call spreads, right? Bear call spreads where we are taken to, one I had sold a call and one I had purchased a call. Now I'll tell you what happens. In this, the person who is doing this, he's actually making money from the premium. Okay, I had taken it wrongly, 5 and 3. What happens, I'll tell you. In this, I believe it was 900 rupees was the strike price at which I had bought. Okay, and 800 pay I had sold the call option. So 900 that at which I had bought, if you see from 1500 rupees, 900 is closer, right? 15 minus 9, that is 600, right? 600 rupees ka risk that person is taking, whereas I am taking how much? 700 rupees ka risk. Okay, if you see from current market price value, I am taking 700 rupees ka risk, so hence more risk, more return. So my premium that I will charge will be 5 rupees, whereas the premium that I had to pay that guy will be pay the National Stock Exchange or whoever the writer of the option of 900 rupees, that will be 3 rupees. Okay, because he is taking less risk and hence he will get less premium. I am taking more risk at 800 and I will get more premium. Okay, so in this case what happens then? 5 minus 3, that is 2 is my maximum profit that I will make. Okay, when will this happen? When this will happen when I'm expecting a bear market and I don't exercise the option and he also doesn't exercise the option. Then this will happen that I will get a maximum profit of 2 rupees. That is the net premium that I will make, because my outflow is 3 rupees at 900 and my inflow, because I'm selling 800 ka, inflow is 5 rupees. So 5 minus 3, that is the outflow, is 2 rupees is my this thing. In this, what happens now? If I don't exercise the option and if the person I sold to, that guy exercises the option, when will this happen? At 850 rupees. Then I'm really screwed. I'll tell you why. Because at 900, if the market price is 850 rupees, I will not exercise my option that I had purchased from the National Stock Exchange for 900. But this person, he will be tempted because he's getting a profit of 50 rupees. Okay. Because I am selling it to him for 800 and market price is 850 rupees. So he will make his profit of 50 rupees. Okay. So in this case, I can suffer a major loss. That is, the loss can be maximum, you know how much? It can be the difference between the upper and the lower limit. That is 900 minus 800 is 100 rupees. And from that, you can remove the 2 rupees net income that I was making. So this is like income is small, but expenditure can be huge depending on the difference between. Normally in real life, the difference is not 900, 800. Maybe it is very less, 950, 945, something like that. But basically that band in the middle, that is your maximum loss can be suffered if the market price falls in between somewhere. Okay. That is where the person whom you sold to, he exercises the option. That time this happens. Okay. So here we see a bear call spread where the actual income is only the premium, nothing else. Yeah. So there are lot of other examples like straddle, strangle approach, and then butterfly spread. They are also very interesting, but it's really no point doing it right now. Let us first digest what we've already done, and then only we proceed in the next time. Yeah. So thank you for attending the lecture again, and hope you enjoyed it, and hope you learned a lot, and hope you can make some money out of it. Thanks. Bye.